Thanks for joining us today at Country Heritage Winery's downtown location for Wine Down Wednesday with Coach Mike Avery. Today we're also joined by Fort Wayne FC captain midfielder Alex Frank and attacking midfielder Sebastian Chalbaud. Welcome, guys. Coach, we came back home with a tie out of Dayton last night. What were you seeing from your vantage point during the game?
It was a tricky game, in a lot of ways. It kind of gets sandwiched in the schedule with a big one we know at home coming up. And I think we tried to warn and guard ourselves as much as kind of falling into a trap game, but it had the feelings of it a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think from our own standards, the guys would probably agree it wasn't our sharpest performance, but we came away with a point. Kind of a crazy storm came into the game in the second half where the wind and the rain started blowing into the goal that we were defending. And so really by the end of it, I think I said to Keelan on the bench, if we get out here without giving away something at the end of this, you might feel good about that even too. So, I think in sports, it's like something like 80% or better of games are won at home. And so, the fact that you've now gone so many games on the road and not given away all 3 points to another team, not our best performance, but I feel okay about it, and I think there's plenty of things that we can take out of it that we can do better, but there's also plenty of things that we did pretty well in the game too. And so, I think these guys will confirm, but one of the things that we talk about all the time is, can we just control the things that we can control? Anything on the outside of that is just noise. We're not worried about what people think. We know what's going on the inside. And just keep getting better every day. Because if we get caught up in league race and where we sit in the table and all of the stuff that goes on the external part of it, we'll forget about the most important thing, and that's just about us getting better every day. I do think this about our team is that if we get better every day, the talent in the room, the wins that we all want are gonna come, right? But it's not going to be a straight line. Frenchie, you played last season in Michigan in that NISA Pro League, and you guys won the championship, right? Was that a straight line from the top, from the start to the top?
Not at all, until the end.
Yeah. And then Seba, you played at High Point. You guys won your conference championship. You went to the NCAA tournament, successful season. Was it a straight line from here to there?
Not at all.
Yeah, seasons never go that way. There's ups and downs, and there's twists and turns. And we're feeling like a tie is a loss, which is interesting too. So we also have to work on keeping our perspective right. We went on the road. I think we have to give credit to Dayton. They played well, made it hard on us. We thought we should have come away with more. When I watched the game back, there's plenty of chances that we maybe should have come away with more. But at the end of the day, we didn't give anything away really, and we're still sitting at the top of the table almost halfway through the season.
Frenchie, as the team captain last night, how do you keep that morale boosted and people pumped up for the game, even though, you faced some challenges during the game, including the weather? How do you keep that intensity up and keep your team going?
Well, that's a good point because obviously straight after the game, the mood is not there. We're frustrated even though we come out with a point away, which technically could be a good result. Now, we already talked about it, and we'll talk with the guys later. The main point now is how can we leave this behind us and focus on Sunday, because it's already in, 3 days? We have a few training ahead of us, and then we're just back home again, finally, in front of our crowd against Kingshammer, which will be a very important game. As we said before, we take game by game. So how can we just keep our head up, keep believing, keep the confidence high, and get the three points on Sunday.
Coach, you're sitting at the top of the Valley division right now with 11 points. And as we head into our second battle with King's Hammer on Sunday, what's the priority for the team going into this match? What's your main focus? What do you want them to stay focused on?
Well, I think that, and it's a natural thing in seasons, but typically the last thing that comes in a team is the polish of the final third, finishing chances. That's usually the last thing that comes. When you put a team together, you kind of always start from the back and you try and build a solid defending. And then for us, how we build the game out of the back. And we've created a lot of chances, but haven't had a lot of goals come out of those chances yet. And so I think we start to shift our focus to what we do in front of the goal a little bit and clean that up, because as the games start to get later in the season, the margin gets thinner and thinner. So one chance might be all you get for a day. And we have guys who are certainly capable of scoring a lot of goals. One of them sitting right here. But more than that, I mean, there's guys in the team that you know that when the first goal goes in, the whatever cover in front of it's going to get ripped off and they're going to pile in goals, because we see it every day in training, their quality. And so now it's just, keeping their confidence up and not letting them get down on themselves when a chance goes missing, and just think of it as an exciting opportunity. Look, rather than saying, oh man, look what we just missed, think, oh man, look all the chances that we're creating today, and kind of, it's just a perspective shift and a mindset. And so I think as we go into the game this week, and that's what I'm hoping for, is that we just keep building. We know it's going to be a really hard game. We said before the season started that the two teams that would likely be in the position that we're in are our two teams. We're about halfway through the season. It's those two teams. And so we know it's going to be a hard one. And we had a great game with them the first time, and we had 3 great games with them last year. So we don't expect anything different.
Sebastian, I wanted to mention how you came from the Flint City Bucks to Fort Wayne, which we'll talk about that in a few minutes, but you're currently co-leading the league with 4 goals. How are you feeling right now, and how does that impact each game and how you approach every game?
Yeah, I definitely feel pretty good. I think I have adapted to the group very well. Our style of play helps me a lot, to do what I like to do in the final third. Actually, my first goal came because of Frenchie. It was a PK, a follow on him, and he knew I needed, to get into starting to score goals and stuff, so he gave it to me. And after that, everything has been great. The next game, I scored 2 more. He gave me 2 assists, so a lot of credit for him. But yeah, it's been a great journey so far. I think the group, it's very well connected, and that has helped a lot.
So basically, though, what you're saying is that the fact you did not score last night is Frenchie's fault.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
think that's what we heard right there.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Now it's clear.
Frenchie, the last time we played King's Hammer SC, that definitely was your night. We saw you come out of nowhere with that beautiful bicycle kick, which I'm hoping we see again Sunday, just saying. However, what was going through your head during that match? What fell into place the right way for that to happen when it happened?
Lots was going on in my head at that time. I couldn't recall everything in detail. Obviously, excitement, happiness, joy, a lot of noise. The crowd was very loud. Perfect start of the season on both individual and collective standpoint. I don't want to jinx it and say this is just one of a lifetime goal, because I hope it will happen again. But yeah, I mean, not just the goal itself, like the whole game. It was the first home game, first game of the season. It actually comes from a great build-up on the second ball from across that Sebastian managed to hold the ball well and give out wide to Tom, who put a ball in, and I was a little bit ahead, so that was the only thing that came through my mind, and I just tried it, and it was successful. So hopefully to see it again on Sunday.
We hope so. I know the fans do. I also understand that both of you have a connection prior to Fort Wayne FC, and which ended up bringing Sebastian to us this season. I want to know if you guys could talk a little bit about that relationship and how he got to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I'll start. So I played with Sebastian, older brother, for 3 years in Michigan Stars in the NISA Professional League. So I actually met Sebastian probably 3 years ago. I think it was 2020, just a couple times. We never played together before. And then I spoke with Mike a couple times before season just to talk about everything. And we were talking about like finding last few players, and I know that he was looking for a chance to play somewhere. Mike was looking for an attacking player, so I put them together, and it worked out, and it ended up being a great decision.
Yeah, I mean, this year I graduated in December, and this year I was looking, to get started my professional career. Unfortunately, it's a little harder as an international here in the U.S. And it got to the point where I was looking for, a pretty good team, a very professional team. And, well, he knows my brother. He told my brother about the Fort Wayne FC and how everything works. He said it was very professional. So the prior 2 years I've played for Flint City Bucks. It's a really good club as well. And I thought this club could, match that level and compete at a very high level. And that's why I decided to come here and give it a try.
We're glad to have you here. Mike,
Yep.
we're getting into a long stretch of home games, which I know our fans are excited. The boys are excited to have everybody here. What kind of words of wisdom do you have for your team, for your fans, what to look forward to for the rest of June and then into July?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how fast it goes. I think today, what's the 7th today? So we are 1 month from day one. It's our 1 month anniversary. So cheers, guys. This is our 1 month anniversary for this year's season, right? Cheers. Yeah. And it feels like we've been here for a year already, right? It's crazy how quick it goes, yet how much happens in a short period of time. And then June kind of goes on steroids of that kind of pace. So we just start playing game after game. It's fun. You get into a really good rhythm, but it's also something you have to be careful about, because it's hard to stay mentally up every 2 or 3 days for a game. And you've got to then also learn how to rest and how to recharge and keep perspective. And I think one of the things that's been really enjoyable with this group, even different from last year, is that we've spent a lot of time as a team talking about maybe the mental side of the game and spending time in the classroom, and I get to put my kind of professor hat on and lead them through some things on how we can stay sharp and mentally focused and at our best, not just physically, but in other ways for the games coming up. And I think that's going to be part of what we do. Whatever happens, good, bad, or otherwise, we got to do it together. And so the connections and the relationships and all of the things that we value in this experience, we have to lean on now in a really busy time. And then I hope the fans start coming out and keep coming out, because obviously it's a good team. You can see that with the naked eye. But it's also a team that's really developing a tight-knit bond and a love for each other. And you can see that too. And it makes it enjoyable to watch them play. I love sitting there and watching them play. I'm proud of them, but I also just like watching guys that have collectively sacrificed little individual wants for a bigger picture. And I think it's a really thing that provides hope for all of us, right? And so the games are fun. Bishop DRC has been a great home for us. It's an exciting place to watch a game, and we have a lot of good ones on tap. Our league games and then a few others coming in July.
So I wanted to touch on quickly, I know I had some comments from fans about why friendlies? Why do you guys add friendlies? And I'd just like you to touch on that for a moment, on the importance of friendlies, because we do look at that as an important part, not just the league games, which are important, but the friendlies are just as important to us. And kind of touch on what that brings to the team and how the importance, translates.
Yeah,
on that
I think for us, from the inside of our team, we couldn't get through a season with just 11 or 12 or 15 or 16 players. I mean, we need a squad. We have 26, and there are some days where that sounds like a lot, and then very quickly that lot doesn't become enough. But we also have to keep those players engaged and keep them game fit and game sharp. And so for us, from a soccer standpoint, it's an opportunity that if we've been in a stretch when we haven't been able to get somebody on in the minutes that you'd like, to give them a game and to keep them, and also give them an opportunity to earn their way into the other group of the games that they want to play in as well. So it's a healthy competition for us internally, but it's also just another opportunity to grow and get better. And so we take the friendlies very seriously. I mean, they're called friendlies, but in our mind, they're as serious as anything else that we do, because we want to establish that home as a place that's a fortress, and nobody comes in and gets a result at our place. And that's a mindset that we try and take into the game. And so these are opportunities to kind of keep establishing that kind of mindset. And again, it's another opportunity for all of us to get together, fans, supporters, players, and have a great time out, because the games are always fun.
Definitely. I know tomorrow we start our third season of Fort Wayne FC Cares. DeMarcus is starting that tomorrow out with the Boys and Girls Club, and I know some of the players are going to be involved in that, so that's going to be exciting. That kicks off again. We always have a lot of fun in the summer with the kids. And then at Sunday's game, we are hosting Big Brothers Big Sisters night at the event. They're going to be there. We're running a campaign. They need more bigs, so we're trying to show our support for the community.
Yeah.
Get involved and help that as well. So I wanted to be sure that people knew about that, and we're excited to have the kids out there, and they always want to be a part of it. So they'll definitely be a part of our walkouts, our half times, and just the opportunity to get involved with these organizations is important to us as a group.
And again, the guys, I feel bad for them because they have to listen to me all day long, and then they have to come here and listen to me on Wind Down Wednesday some more. But we talk about this stuff and the importance of it, not just to the club, but even to us as players and people as part of this community. There's a moment, and these guys will relate, and anybody who's ever played will relate, where you're in a practice session, and it's that day where the coach is mad, and you're on the line, and you're going to be running, right? And you're going to do more running, lines or whatever the drill is. And in your mind, you're thinking, I don't know if I can take another step. I'm exhausted. I don't think I can make it, right? And the coach says out loud, okay, if everybody makes the next one on time, we're done. If one person misses, we're going to do 3 more. And you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if I can make this, right? And what happens is that you learn, as an athlete, you learn that the way then to find the energy to get yourself across the lines, you turn to your teammate on the left and you turn to your teammate on the right and you say to them, come on, let's go, we got this. And you throw like a little positive energy, a little kindness, a little support to them, and it rebounds back to you and you all kind of lift up and to get across the line. These are lessons that we learn playing these games. And the same thing's true in life. Like, if we have goals that we're trying to accomplish with our club, we have goals that we're trying to accomplish in this season with our team, the clearest way for us to achieve those goals is to first help someone else achieve their goals. That's really the clearest way. There's a karma to this thing that really works. And so I am so proud to be a part of a club that is not just in theory or in words, but actually is invested in the community in which we live. We do play this beautiful game that's the world's game that brings people together, and we get to share that, but we also get to share in the things that are important to other people as well. And so when we talk about coming here, when I'm on the phone with Sebastian saying, look, I want you to come to Fort Wayne FC and here's what it's all about, and we talk about the football and we talk about the training environment and the opportunities used as a platform to get to pro, but what we also talk about is there's not a requirement, but there is an expectation that you're going to be a part of this club that values what we do in the community. And these guys are all, to a man, said, nope, I'm interested in that too. And that's part of why they're here, because that's part of the fit of being here. So all of these things, the Fort Wayne FC Cares program, the Big Brothers Big Sisters programs, all the other things that we do, I think they're critical to our success on the field too.
Exactly. And we always say that we use soccer as a catalyst to bring people together, and I feel wholeheartedly that is what we do as an organization. So I'm really glad you guys came here today and got to learn more about Wind Down Wednesday, but more so to share your stories, because the fans love you guys. The more that we can get you out there so people know more about Frenchie and Sebastian and everybody else, that more it helps the game, grow the game as well. So thanks for joining us today. And that's another Wind Down Wednesday with Mike Avery. And salud.
Yeah, salud. Yeah, cheers.
Let's go see King's Hammer Sunday.
Yeah. In French, what would you do?
Chin chin.
Chin chin?
Oh,
All right, chin chin. Okay.
Chin chin.
We'll get all the different cheers, toasts through the end of the season, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.